Yo, welcome back to Total Shock Fiction. I'm your host, En Pandit Cole. This is not an official episode of the Free Minds podcast. However, we're affiliated. Walking home right now, so figured I'd pull out the camera, do a little session here while I'm on the concrete. I don't drive. I am a pedestrian, bro. You know, I came up taking the light rail, taking the bus, you know. Motherfuckers wasn't getting rides. You feel me? When you're going places you ain't necessarily supposed to be at, like to go smoke weed illegally, because weed was illegal, you're not getting a ride there. So, what do you gotta do? You gotta hop on that bus. You gotta get that bus route. I used to get bus routes off motherfucking MapQuest. Get that bus route, hop on a light rail, take a train, walk everywhere. So, you know, I really have, in my older age, I've become a bit domesticated. You feel me? I don't walk like I used to. I don't really go nowhere. I be at the house. I stay up in the house. I don't go nowhere. I don't mob really. I don't make any missions for the most part. So I don't be on the concrete. But one thing about the concrete is this is the underground village. You know, on the concrete, riding the bus, taking public transportation, I've learned valuable lessons about life you ain't gonna learn nowhere else. You feel me? When you're out on the street and you see the homeless people, the drug addicts, you feel me? Like the fringe of society where motherfuckers who fell off the map are at. That's the kind of shit you see only on the concrete. And that shit strengthens resolve and it builds character. I don't know, you know, it's kind of like an anime. They walk everywhere and shit. You feel me? So, that's me. Being archaic and shit, you feel me? Walking. There's literally a dude right on the corner right there losing his mind. He's just screaming. He's screaming, he's yelling shit. I didn't put him on camera or nothing because I ain't finna show somebody in their worst moment or nothing like that, but that's kind of shit I'm talking about. You see motherfuckers snap. Motherfuckers lose their biscuit. That's kind of shit that happens. Hey, watch out, man. There's a dude losing his mind over there. Be careful. So, you know, you gotta be cautious. You gotta watch out. You gotta be knowing what you're doing. But being on the concrete, being in the village, the underground village, that's why I say, you know, live reporting from the underground village, that's where the true zeitgeist of culture permeates in the street. Not like in the streets, like in the hood, but just on the concrete, people coming and going, people in places. When you're in a car, moving around in that toaster on wheels, you don't see the economic ramifications, the cultural ramifications, the spiritual ramifications of shit that's going on in your city. You don't see none of that shit. You're in a car, you get in your car, you drive somewhere, you go in the store, you come out, get back in the car, you go to work, get back in the car. So there's a lot of shit going on you don't see. So I think that's also another reason why I haven't taken up driving, even though I started learning how to drive when I was 12. I could drive, honestly, but I just don't. And, you know, sometimes you like, fuck, I gotta walk home type shit, like, or you gotta ask for a ride, or you gotta wait for motherfuckers to pick you up and shit. But, I mean, you know, it is what it is type shit. It builds character. Walking builds character, bro. Being on the concrete, it builds character. And ultimately, that's always been my mission, my quest. To build my character, strengthen my resolve, become who I'm supposed to be. So, I mean, that's what it is. It's the new calendar year. For those of you who aren't aware, we live under the Gregorian calendar system, 2025 AD. after the death of Christ. Ain't that what it means? AD, after death. And then before that, or it's they have CE and BCE. That's what I go by. So BCE is before current era. That's BC, before Christ. And then you got CE is current era. So we're 2025 in the current era. But the calendar, the Gregorian calendar, doesn't actually follow the true like calendar of nature, because you know the real New Year starts in like February, March. That's why Chinese New Year, that shit's like in February, right? They're more in alignment with the real like changing of the year. So the 2025 shit, it's just the Gregorian calendar system we're under. That's really why we're in the matrix for real, is because we're in a false system of time. And, you know, something you could do to free yourself from that, we all got to go to work. You got to keep track of, you know, what days you getting paid, what days you got to pay this bill, that bill. So I'd be knowing, like, what day it is and shit. But in my heart, I'm not bound to the time of the times, you feel me? It's like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, what day is it? Oh, I got to think. Versus motherfuckers like, it's Thursday. They wake up, it's Thursday. I don't wake up like, it's Thursday, nigga. I wake up like, it's a new day. You feel me? I'm not going to think about what day it is, except just in the back of my mind, or unless I need to know, like, I mean, you just wake up and you know what day it is, because you're like, oh, yesterday was Tuesday, today's Wednesday. But I'm just saying, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but for me, I didn't want to be bound, like, in my heart. That's the thing. There's a lot of bullshit you got to deal with in society, which is a false construct, a false system. The shit you got to do in society, look, they ain't even trying to stop. What the fuck? Motherfuckers ain't even trying to stop. You know, there's shit you got to do in society to stay in the shuffle. But you don't got to be bound to that shit in your heart. You feel me? You could be real. You could be on your G shit. So that's kind of shit I be on, bro. Ja rules. What'd he say? Ja rule? No, nigga, not Ja rule, nigga. Ja rules. Ja Rastafari, nigga. Ja is the natural spirit of life that permeates everything in existence. When you pair that in combination with the mind of the universe, that's how you enter God consciousness. That's how you become one with the immense. That's how you elevate. You feel me? Hey, what's up, man? You want to shout yourself out on YouTube? Nah, he didn't want to be on the YouTube. I'm trying to give out free commercials, shit. So, yeah, it's 2025, so they say. New year, new me. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. You feel me? Don't knock it till you motherfucking try it. But, you know, not too much going on, shit. I've been reading more. I'm back on my shit. Reading them Donald Goines novels. If you don't know who Donald Goines is, get out from under that rock you under. He's the godfather of street lit. And that's something I want to talk about too. When it comes to black literature, and by that I mean books written by black people, they put us in boxes. So if you're a black author and you're writing fantasy or science fiction or anything like that, they put you in a box called black speculative fiction. Basically saying you're speculating about some fantasy shit. But if it's white fantasy fiction, they just call it fantasy. Why is my shit gotta be speculative? And then the other genre you got is what they call urban fiction or street lit. So that's, you know, stories that take place in urbanized environments. Honestly, most street lit, especially nowadays, is it is just like hood books. You feel me? That's the genre. That's what they write it geared towards. That's what sells. But just because I'm writing about, just because I'm writing an urban story, why does it gotta be just put in this little box? They say, oh, it's urban fiction, as if it's lesser than. You feel me? It's still literature. I can still write a great American classic, and it's urban fiction. So Donald Goines, he's the godfather of street lit. He read Iceberg Slim's novel Pimp while he was locked up, and he started writing his first novel, Dope Fiend, while he was locked up. He wrote the shit in prison, and it was getting passed around by the inmates. They was reading his shit like, hey, nigga, that shit's hard. He came out, became one of America's #1 best-selling black authors. I got all 16 of his novels. I read half of them so far. I just finished the Kenyatta series. I've been on the Goines novels, you know, reading, sharpening my mind. You know, reading sharpens your mind. You gotta be sharp out here. You gotta have your mind sharp, head on the swivel, paying attention to what's going on. You know, it's crazy. You see that Carl's Jr. right there? When I was like fucking 19, I want to say, I rode my bike. I lived in a different area from where I'm at right now, but I lived within bike riding distance from where I'm at. I rode my bike and I stopped at that Carl's because my grandpa, Bliss in Paradise, he passed away this past year. Oh, look at this car. Gangster. You know, my grandpa would always go to Carl's and have a Coke. That was his ritual. He would just go in there, sit down, you know, have a Coke. So I was riding my bike. I honestly didn't know where I was going to go or what I was going to do. I just left my house. I was at my breaking point. I was about to be like homeboy back there on the corner losing his mind. Pulled up at that Carl's, had my bike. I was sitting there. I wanted to commit suicide, straight up. I wanted to kill myself. And I was kind of just aimlessly riding my bike until I ended up at that Carl's. The same one that I just showed you right there. Was sitting at that motherfucker, pulled out my wallet. I don't know why. I think I was like, oh, if I fucking kill myself, they're gonna find my wallet, and that's how they gonna know who I am. And I pulled out my ID. I looked at that shit, and I had this notion where it was like the ID said expires in whatever year, right? And I was like, fuck, man. This is a piece of plastic the government issued me. How the fuck am I finna expire before this ID? How the fuck am I gonna expire before a fucking ID? A piece of plastic that was issued to me where they tried to say, well, that's his life. You know, it's gonna spot, like, you know what I'm saying, type shit. So I just rode home. I just fucking rode home, bruh. I'm still here. You know what I mean? Don't sell yourself short. You might be at your breaking point, but don't lose your mind, nigga. Go for a walk. If you gotta just leave your situation, just walk. Take a walk, think, breathe. A lot of motherfuckers, I heard some, I was watching a podcast, it was Tiger Belly, and they had a comedian on there, he was talking about this shit. And motherfuckers lose their lives because they reacted too quick. And sometimes you gotta react quick, you know. But I mean, a motherfucker did some shit, said some shit to somebody, and then, you know, you flipped your biscuit over it, did some irrational shit without thinking it through, fuck around, get locked up, or you're dead. So you always gotta think everything through. Don't do no shit on a whim. Don't just run up and sock a nigga in his mouth because he was talking shit. You gotta think shit through. Think it through. Know what the fuck you're doing. You feel me? Think shit through. That's my motto. Think shit through. That's my motto. That's my 2025 motto. Think shit through. So, this has been a broadcast from Total Shock Fiction. I'm En Pandit Cole. I'm an author. I don't call myself a content creator, whatever that means. But I've been making content on YouTube for many years. I dropped out of high school to rap and be an author. I don't do music no more really like that. I have music out on streaming under my pen name, En Pandit Cole, E-N, Pandit, P-A-N-D-I-T, Cole. And I do have books available on Amazon. I have a trilogy called the Werewolf Man Trilogy. And I have a book I just released last year called Evil Sphere. Evil Sphere is an urban crime novel about gangsters fighting demons rising up from out of hell. It's like Resident Evil meets some street shit. It's also extreme horror novel as well. So, you know, pick up those books, check my shit out, fuck with me, subscribe, comment, like, hate on my shit, I don't give a fuck. Word is bond. Peace be Allah, nigga. It's the Village Cam, nigga. I talk shit, I smoke weed, I'm too. Hey, check this shit out. This on a motherfucking bus stop bench, bro. No needle, no scalpel. Northern California vasectomies. They trying to cut you niggas nuts off, bruh. Do not let these motherfuckers snip your nuts, bruh. You might want a kid at 45. You might want a kid at 60. You might want to pop one out before you go when you're a fucking old ass man. Do not let these motherfuckers snip your nuts, bro. If a bitch is telling you to get your nuts snipped, you need to snip the bitch. Straight up, nigga. Disclaimer, in case y'all thought I was made up, make believe. I am not an AI avatar. I am a real nigga. I'm a real person. I'm a real human being. I'm not an AI avatar. Your AI can't do this, nigga. Your AI can't simulate real, nigga. On job.
Total shock entertainment.